help. I was saying that because there is and there are several scholarships running around from design schools. Hello to everybody and thank you for being here with me. I've decided this time not to make a sketching section, but most of all to make a sort of a design talk part one about scholarships and project brief, and the part two will be on Friday, okay? So this one is the first part. We will talk about important things about how you're gonna make a very good participation to your scholarship attempt or trial. And on Friday will be part two, okay, because it's very long to explain. So I cannot do this in just less than an hour, everything, okay? Nice to see you again, Fatah, and goodbye and hi and ciao to all the people that are listed here. I can see on my display. All right, so first of all, many of you probably are trying the scholarship from ID Design, okay? And if yes, I hope you all gonna make it, okay? And probably everybody is facing the big dilemma of saying, well, I know how to get the scholarship. I go to the website, I enroll, for the scholarship. Then they send to you the briefing project, the timing, which is a sort of a planning that you have to make. And then you say, okay, and now what the hell do I do? Because there is one thing that you have to understand. One thing is when you prepare your entry portfolio to be admitted into a design school, any design school, whether it's bachelor or whether it's going to be for a master. Because in that case, the only thing that the school wants to see, okay, is your ability, your skills. If you basically know how to sketch, if you understand what it means to sketch around a car, okay, if you know perspective, colors, principles of colors, stuff like that. So in that case, your entry portfolio, even if it's still something difficult to put together, it's a little bit easier compared to a project brief that you receive and you have only roughly 2 months to do a full project, okay? Without any teacher, without anybody explain to you and taking you to develop that brief and develop that project. Therefore, this step, it's very important, and you don't have that step. At least not if other people like me will try to explain to you how you have to read that briefing from any school. I'm not talking about only about Istituto Europeo di Design in Torino, but many other schools, okay? They give you a brief, Yash, and I'm sorry, seeing a lot of, it's okay, Yash, don't worry. So, what you have to do, when there is a scholarship, you will receive a reduced cost of your bills to be in school, attending school, okay? The tuition fee. Or in some rare cases, it's a full scholarship, means that you don't have to spend any money on the school, just for living cost. So anybody that is offering a scholarship, it's like giving you a project and paying you for a project. Therefore, you have to do a very good project to make sure that you deserve that opportunity, that you really deserve to get that scholarship, and therefore get a very good advantage, compared to other people that have to pay full tuition to attend to school after admission. And here is the moment during which you have to understand. First of all, you have to read that briefing very, very careful, because in the briefing, in a way, there is a little bit all the important information to give you opportunity to understand what we're talking about, how you have to make it, what you have to make it, and then you know the timing you have available to develop the project. So, the first thing you have to do when you have a project with a briefing, in this case we are talking about, I repeat myself, a scholarship, okay? The first thing you have to think about is understanding that briefing, trying to understand the key words of that briefing that will help us to understand how to direct your research. The research is extremely important in the beginning of any project, because before we start sketching, we have to understand culturally, historically, according to our culture, to our understanding, Chao Eshen, we have to understand in which scenario we are operating, You cannot just start sketching. For example, the IED brief is talking about hybridization, hybridization design. And it says, there are a lot of hybrid design, examples. What would you do with hybridization to design an object, a product, an interior, a car, a transportation, a vehicle for the future generation to come? Okay, so when that type of message arrives, you have to understand that you have to get those keywords and then develop those keywords in terms of what does it really mean and in which context you have to place those keywords. So you have context, scenario is very important. Keywords. The keywords will tell you exactly in that particular scenario what you can do. But not only that, for who you are doing the project you are doing. Who is your market? Who is your target? The age of your target, the history, the story of your target. Who are going to be your clients? And if this is in 2030 or 2040, you have to study what your target is doing today and what they did yesterday, because you have a sort of to predict what's going to happen in the next years in order to design something that will follow that trend of evolution that you are kind of predicting. You understand? Therefore, to understand all this, the first action you have to do that you can do it in 3-4 hours. I'm not saying that you have to stay there for a full week. We're talking about 3-4 hours. The first thing to do is research. So when we are talking about, for example, hybridization concept, can be several things, but can be also technology, can be about stamping technology, can be about energy technology, new energy, new development, new research and development energies or technologies to make things. Or hybrid can be a new way of mixing a different type of usage of something, whether it's a product, a vehicle, a transportation, something that flies, something that goes on the water, So you have to understand that if you choose one of those topics or other topics, then you have to open up your internet and you have to search for the keywords to see on YouTube, on Google, on Pinterest, on websites, on special forums or blogs, You have to read articles, see pictures, see videos, and learn as much as you can about those technologies, those hybridization systems that are already used today. Then you have also to understand who is the user. Because if you make a project for somebody, are they private people? Are we addressing our project simply to a small family, 4 people, parents and 2 kids? Are them divorced, therefore there is a girl and the 2 kids? Or maybe 2 ladies with 2 kids, or 2 boys with 2 kids, There are so many cases. You have to pick up one. Or are we addressing to public transportation for tomorrow? Therefore, how many people are we putting together to bring them from point A to point B? And in which conditions? And what does it mean, hybridization, in this case? 20 people, 15 people together, 100 people together. But then after that, after you make that research, okay, then there is another thing you have to do. You have to think about your scenario. Where I'm going to put my vehicle or my product or my interior design or my graphic design, where I'm going to put this type of project I want to make. In which context? So, in which scenario? It's not today society, and it's not going to be tomorrow. Society is going to be a lot further, because the briefings in general want you to go a kind of far to test your creativity. Therefore, use your creativity and try to understand in which scenario you are going to put your project. That's important, because if you don't connect your research, so the information that you learn with which you can develop a creative idea, if you don't connect this with the environment, you are lost, because it's like a starting point. Okay, I'm gonna sketch, but for who? For what? For which year? In which city? In which country? In which situation? So when we give a briefing, projects, also at work, we have all those informations. Because of course we have our other departments like product planning, marketing, research, engineering. They're all giving all the information. So we have a full photo, in which we understand what is the context. And then we know exactly what we have to do. And then we can think in serenity, in full serenity, we can think about how to use our creativity and how to measure our creativity to develop the next car for that type of scenario and information. Now you don't have at home the product planning people and the marketing people and all the others that will come with all the information and all a bunch of PowerPoints to study like we do. So you have to make it. And a lot of people don't know. Okay, I got a briefing, so what do they want? An electric car? But it's so banal to think. So it's, how can I say, it's too easy, to say right away, okay, I'm gonna make a nice electric car because that's very clean for the planet. Today, ciao, en mi opinión, ¿cómo estás? Espero muy bien. Saludos a Argentina. And so, what you have to realize is that when you are making a project for a scholarship, it is an important step. It takes responsibility. It's not just when my online students sketch with me and we decide, just like that, okay, let's make a project so we can exercise perspective, color, creativity. It's not exactly the same thing. Even if I try all the time to give a small briefing and I explain to them very quickly, but I'm not very demanding because I don't have any scholarship to offer. My objective in that case is to see how people learn and exercise their skills and their creativity. So that's my objective. Here in this case is different because the school is waiting for a bunch of projects, and then they will decide who really deserves that project. And deserving that project means only one thing, that if I give you a project, you bring me a project, not just a series of pretty pictures or nice drawings. So this means that, what time is it? Okay, I have the time. Now I will switch, okay? I will switch. Wait a second. I took some paper. I will switch camera and I show you a path that you should follow, okay, in order to put order in your head and decide how you're gonna take that project and how you can develop that project, okay? So just 1 second that I click the right button, which is this one, okay, all right. Okay, so here we are. Now you can see, I will take a nice marker that you can see well. So let's take my blue marker, okay? So here we have the briefing. This is the brief project. Okay, every time we make a project, we have also always the WWH formula. Okay, what I'm telling you is things that we learn when we make design management courses. Okay, so why, what, and how. Okay, we can also add another one that I would add, which is for who. Okay, so this is the first thing you have to ask yourself once you read the briefing. Okay, then, as I said, you have to find in the briefing, you have to find the keywords. Okay, the keywords are very important because those will drive you. One question, what size sheet is that? Excuse the question, I said just go. It's an A4. Prang it, it's A4 format. Thanks, Prasad. But no, make one design school. Will you have video once you're done? The motivation letter, some important. Yes, we will talk about that, of course. Okay, so the keywords. In the case of IED briefing, okay, in India there is aptitude puzzle test, skills important scholarship. If someone is low in aptitude, they have a high creativity, so no scholarship for that. My experience. Okay, Patras, but in Europe it's different. You have to develop a project, okay? That's how it is. No test like that. All right, so in the IED brief, the key one of the keywords is hybridization. Okay, then you can find others reading, you know, future society. We can put future needs, future technologies, future energy. Very important today, energy. So there are a lot of little things that you can list, okay? Not too many. I would say no more than 6, but at least 3 or 4, okay? On which you will start your research. Okay? So now some people told me, yeah, okay, okay, but how do I do the research? Come on, guys. When I was in school, we had to go to encyclopedia or in the library to search for books, old magazines, very old newspaper, to go and search for articles and make the history of what we were searching. Today, you have a computer, a smartphone, so you can go to Google, okay? This is for infos and images, of course, and also video. You have YouTube, okay? We have also Pinterest for the image. You have Wikipedia, okay? In which you can read lots of interesting things that are kind of precise. It's not 100% precise, but it really can help you. And then what do? You have to think how to use this information to create a stimuli for your scenario. Okay? And in the scenario, you have society. And in society, you will have your target market. Okay? Your clients. Now, when we have our clients, okay, he's there. So you see, this is how you get, with all this information and thinking, you get to who you are targeting, okay, to make the projects for. So this is the who, for who, okay? So the clients, then you have to choose. Once again, is he a private, public, institution, like schools, government, I don't know. And then once you understand whether it's gonna be, like, as I said, a family, single person, a bunch of friends, or public, or institution, then you decide what. What do they need? Because we have a time. We said that this is gonna be, I don't know, 2030, or maybe 2035, or 2050. I don't know. Okay? I don't know, but it's not gonna be for tomorrow. It's gonna be stimuli, Isaac. Stimuli means infos, okay, that will give you the right information to work on, okay, to stimulate. It comes from to stimulate. It means to provoke a thinking, okay? You get all this information and this will provoke in your brain the thinking, the right thinking to work on the project. All right? Okay. All right. So this is the beginning of how you have to address yourself to the briefing of the project. So by the time you get here, you know if you make a car, if you're making a public transportation, if you work on a train or on a plane, you know what is the need, okay? The needs of your target. What does he need in 2030? Question mark. And you give yourself answers according to the history, the story, information that you get from here. And you can predict. All right? So, I don't know. Today we have Electric cars. We know that electric cars have batteries, and the batteries are a little problem for the planet. Even if on one side it's clean energy, it's considered clean energy. On the other side, we have a problem of recycling, even if there are lots of efforts in recycling the batteries and stuff. But we know that we have to make a new turnaround with EV cars to make them better, much, much better. Okay, then what you are looking for, it's technologies. Techno. Go and get technology information on EV development, okay, batteries development, and also other energies. And then you will see how you can use the hybridization keyword, which means put two things together, okay, all right, and then you have to decide what do I put here and what do I put here and how I put them together. So search for the info, and then you decide maybe that your future car has a very small battery because there are other technology for energy that will be more important than the batteries today for the car. You understand? You have to predict that. And you can predict that according to what we are doing today to make batteries. What is today's technology? But what's going to be tomorrow's technology, and what's going to happen to other energy technologies for tomorrow? Where is the convenience? What is better? Is it better another technology, an alternative, and therefore we can reduce the batteries into a car because we are using something else? What? I don't know. You have to learn that because you're making a research. So once you know, then you have to come to design process. Because design process, as I already explained to you once, it will give you the tools, okay? The tools to develop your project. Your project. Okay? So the first thing we have to do, in order not to miss the due date, the deadline, it's we have to make a planning. You have to make a planning. Now we know that it's from 1st March and it will go until, I would say, the 4th of May. Okay? Hey, the 4th is my birthday, eh? Don't forget. It's true, eh? Okay. So, we have 2 months. March and April. Therefore, you divide March in 4 weeks. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay, 4 weeks. And May also. 1, 2, 3. Okay? And this is deadline. All right? So you can make a quick planning the way I'm doing it. Okay? This is a very sketchy planning. It's a way to understand when you know what you have to do, when you have a date, and where we are today. We are starting what we can compress and what we can expand in terms of activities. So here we said half week, it's research. Then the other half week, it's gonna be brainstorming. Then we will choose from the brainstorming, you will choose from the brainstorming, I would say 2 ideas, okay? 2. You have 1 week. You work on those 2 ideas, A and B. Then you choose one of the 2. This is concept choice. So, let's say that we choose A and we refuse B. So from here, we work only on A. and we work for 1, 2, 3 full weeks to make design development. Here we stop and we start making color, nice presentation sketches. Okay? And then you have still 1 week, if you want, to do something in virtual, like Photoshop. If you make a virtual model and you take shots, then you have the model, you have to start it here, okay? So you have to go fast, because then you have to model and then you have to make all the pictures. So you have pics, okay? And then you have to think also that the final document that you are handing in to the school, in order that your participation to the scholarship it's well done as a real project, has to be like this. You have to make a slide with your research. Okay? Pictures, some things written, pictures, to explain why you made the research on those items, whether it's technology or something else. Okay? Then you have Moodboard. This is the info. Okay? This is the inspiration for your target marketing, basically your client. Okay? And then you have one slide with your best sketches, even black and white, best sketches, which is called ideation. Okay? Then you add concept choice. In our case is the number, the A, okay? Then you add another, and here it can be color, okay? Then you add one where you have side view, three quarter, front and back, okay? And then you can have your Photoshop illustration. If you want to put Photoshop. If you don't want to use Photoshop, it's not bad. You can do color, beautiful color sketches, just the way I do, just like my students do with me when we work together during my online course, okay? So basically, if you count, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe this is 2 slides here, okay? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 slides. You understand? That's how you develop a briefing project. Any questions? Now it's time. While you write down the questions, I have to drink some water because my throat is thirsty. Patriot, I don't know how to answer to your question. I'm sorry. The only thing I remember that might help you is that when I was a student, there were several students who got from the American government what at that time was called a grant, which means they give you money because you have a very strong talent and you cannot pay the school. So those people had to keep up very high grade to keep the money arriving from the government. If they had bad grades, they would lose the money. That's for sure. Yeah, exactly, like Prasad is saying. Okay, guys, I hope this is useful for you. If you want to offer me a coffee for this lesson, please go ahead. You have the button so you know how to click eventually. Thank you. If you want to ask me a question, please do. Yeah, you need high grades. Not the highest grade, but high grades. Yeah, Isaac, because you have to know that in America, transportation design, it's a field of human science. Yeah, I think that in Italy it's higher, yeah. Sir, how do we show all this research and make that part not that long that the project becomes lengthy or boring? But that's why I'm saying, Yash, if you make everything in maxi 5 or 7 slides, I think it's good. Of course, the most important part is this one. Maybe the research and the mood board, maybe the research is something. Oh, thank you, Arab. Thank you very much. Thanks. The research maybe is just something that you can write in your letter, because there will be a document in which you will explain your project, okay? Your project. So this information, you can write it here, okay? But then you can go, therefore you can start with the mood board. Thank you, Arab. I appreciate a lot. Thank you very much. You see, so you have a mood boards, brainstorming, okay? And then lots of sketches, okay? Black and white, okay? With some that are a little bit more colored and some others are just a nice line drawing. And then you show maybe the two concepts and then just the concept that you chose, And then you show the 3-4 perspective. And then a nice illustration in Photoshop. Or 2 illustrations in Photoshop. All right. Okay. So I wanted to talk to you about this today. Now I change again. Here we are back. Okay. Here we are. Because I want you to think, I want you to understand the difference between putting together a portfolio for an entry level that is looking for an admission and what it means instead to make a project when you get a project brief. You can go just with the nice 3 pictures and say, I made my electric car. This car is better car than the others because in the future I can go and then I press a button and the car will fly. I mean, if you do that, it's a little childish, Pranget, write to my email and I will explain to you because starting next week I have space, okay? I will tell you which day is available. I will tell you also, of course, the cost, but believe me, it's cheap. It's not very expensive. So this is my email. Oops, I made a mistake, sorry. Okay, now it's good. The one before it's not good. Okay, taking off. All right, so Pranit, you can write to me, and I will explain to you how it works. Very simple. You know, Prasad is present here. He's one of my students. He knows very well, and it's easy, not complicated. And of course, the good thing is that I am live in video with you for 2 hours every time we are connected. Okay, so you will be followed, only you, and not with other people. All right. So because I think that's the best way to help you guys to be concentrated and without losing track of what we're doing. Because I follow, you know, I start from the basics. But then if somebody has a particular case or particular needs, then you guys tell me what you need from me, and I will adapt myself to help you out the best I can. Okay? All right. Good. All right. You're welcome. Now, Friday, I will talk to you and I will explain to you, I will show you some examples, okay, of what it means, a sort of slideshow, you know, with the mood board, and then how we can make the sketching ideation, how we can prepare, you know, the final drawing, what is a fairly good Photoshop that we can include as a final presentation so that you get an idea. But please, if you are working for the scholarships, start doing the way I told you to do, because you have to discipline yourself, okay? You become a little bit like a design manager of yourself. You have to manage the organization and you have to act as the designer. Therefore, you have to do it. First, you decide how to do it according to the date, the days, okay? And then in that frame of time, you will do that work. Then you will move on, okay? That's the best way you can do to be serious about the project. As I asked earlier, we'll have a video motivation letter. Prasad, yes, I will talk about this next Friday, okay? Don't worry. I can condense both information in that video, in the video live of Friday. No problem. All right. I would like also to let you know that just in case you would like my ebook, okay, I open up again the offer that instead of paying 15 euros, you pay only 7 euros if you buy from me directly. Therefore, you can send me an email. I wrote there my email. If you are interested, write to me via email so that I can send you the PDF. It's a PDF format, and I will send it directly to you only for 7 years instead of 15, okay? But this is only for who is watching this video now. So people that will not write to me via email, or that write to me email and don't tell me about this video, they don't have the right to this great opportunity, okay? Otherwise, for those that want to pay full, okay, it's all my ebooks are at lulu.com, okay? That's the website where you find also the other ebooks, but the offer is only for sketching cars ebook, the most expensive one, because it's 15. The other ebooks are really cheap, so there is no way I can make such a high discount, okay, or special offer. All right. Okay, guys, thank you very much. Thank you very much for your coffee. It's more than a coffee, to be honest. It's a cappuccino. So thank you very much for your cappuccino. I appreciate. All right, and I will see you here Friday for part 2. Okay, so don't forget. Now a little bit of music. Ciao. Thanks. Bye bye.